And Robert, let me ask you, how long have you been an NPI franchise owner?
I'm going on my 7th year.
Well, that's quite a long time then. You're really a veteran at this.
I guess you can call me a
Now, what were you
veteran.
doing before you became a home inspector?
I was a tool and die designer for approximately 22 years
Okay.
in the tooling
So
industry.
this is kind of a transition, a little bit different.
Very different,
And
yes.
Heather, what were you doing before you became involved in this business?
I worked for a newspaper doing real estate advertising.
Okay, so you got some marketing background.
Right.
So kind of a technical and marketing, sounds like a pretty good combination there.
Right.
Tell me, when you started working the franchise, then did you start this together, or did, Robert, did you start working it together?
I started the business on my own. Basically, went into it cold turkey, quit my job, just wanted a career change. Got to the point where I wanted to be very independent. I always went to the same building every day, did the same thing. I wanted a little bit more variety, so I started it on my own, and as the business grew, I guess probably after 4 or 5 years, and we had 5 children in those 5 years. Heather basically, yes, at that time, you got it.
Right.
The business was growing, and it was more than I could do by myself. And Heather wanted more time with the kids and at home, so that's when Heather quit her advertising job and sort of came on board with me.
Now, Heather, you've got sort of a marketing background, obviously.
Right. So I do all the
What were you able
flyers.
to do to help kind of take your business to the next level with your marketing skills?
Well, I created flyers and did marketing materials for them. They didn't have much with design-wise with the information that they were putting out, just that was printable. So I created
Help
some
customize
literature
the
for them.
pieces, and then, now, did you actually take those out and do some marketing and distribute those to the real estate agencies?
Right, right.
That's great. Good. Now, Robert, your background, technical guy.
Very technical.
Did that help you pick up on the sort of the technical aspects of this, the training, electrical and HVAC and things that you need?
Very much so. I would say the construction and building of a house is like stacking up building blocks as a kindergartner compared to what I did before. I worked in hundreds of thousands of an inch on precision tools that made aerospace products and things like that. And if you've ever seen a house being built, it's nowhere near that. So it was, yes, I went from very technical, which makes my job really much
Now,
easier.
if a customer were to call you, somebody buying a house, they might find you on the web, or they look you up in the Yellow Pages and they call you, maybe they talk to Heather. They say, I saw your listing here, I might need an inspector. What would you tell that customer why they should hire the Goulds and NPI to do that inspection?
Well, I think professionalism is the key to any inspection business, especially ours, because these guys, George and Robert, together are so professional and explain. They walk the buyer through the inspection, explain everything as they go. One of the other great features about NPI is the software that's provided, and that is that the inspection is printed on site, and that's really important for both agents and buyers, that they don't have any loose ends to look forward to after the inspection.
Or maybe a day or two.
Don't have to wait. There's no handwritten anything. Everything is computer generated, and just the technology is kept up with the industry.
Robert, does George go on inspections with you?
No, George does them separate. He only rode with me for about maybe a couple of weeks or so, and George has been doing inspections
You can work with a lot
for
of agents who have business they need.
most definitely. With having two
inspections done, and
We can do 30 inspections a week.
Yes,
Okay.
we are very flexible with our time with having 2 inspectors. Another thing that works good, when you get on a large project, you get on $1 million, $2 million home, you can attack that with 2 inspectors.
Okay.
So in lieu of 1 inspector being there for 5 hours and losing your focus, you can attack that house with 2 inspectors. The buyer's only there, the agent's only there for half the time. Plus, you don't lose your concentration. So they get a much better inspection. They're not there for the length of time that they would be with 1 inspector. So there's a lot of advantages to having 2 inspectors as far as the flexibility of your hours. And just basically you have 2 sets of eyes looking at larger jobs.
Yeah, it sounds like the Gould team's pretty strong down there between marketing, office help, inspectors in the field. So
We're strong and getting stronger.
Now, just being a franchise owner, you're self-employed. If you enjoy that part of it, sometimes it's a challenge, but you're your own boss.
You got it.
Right.
You appreciate that part of it?
Very much so. You can schedule days off. You can go to day games for the Cardinals. You can attend playoff games for the Cardinals. Yes, you have very much flexibility. You can go to school
Right.
and have
I
lunch
mentioned
with your
World
children,
Champions.
which is a great thing. I I'll pop in at noontime, go to school with my kids. I take my kids to school in the morning, whereas before I could set up where I start my first job at 8:30 at 9. I take the kids to school every day. Heather could pick the kids up from school every day. If I have an opening in the middle of the day, I can go by school and have lunch with them. I can meet Heather and have lunch with her. All things you can never do with a corporate job, correct?
Exactly.